Chapter 7. Rain poured through the forest canopy, drenching Richard and Helen as they sprinted through the underbrush. Their ragged breathing vanished beneath the roar of the storm. Their hearts thundered in their chests, adrenaline pushing their legs forward. Helen's foot caught on a hidden root. She stumbled forward with a cry, landing hard on her hands and knees. Pain shot through her ankle when she tried to push herself up. Her body collapsed back down with a hiss of pain. "Helen!" Richard reached her side in an instant, arms wrapping around her to lift her. Blood streaked her palms and knees, and strain drained the color from her face. "My ankle," she gasped, wincing as she tested her weight. Richard looked back. Shadows flickered through the rain and trees. He hoisted Helen up, one arm locked under her shoulders. "We have to keep going," he said, voice taut. "Lean on me." They moved with effort, Helen's limp turning each step into a trial. After a minute of painful progress, panic spilled from her throat. "Richard," she panted, clinging to him. "I'm slowing you down. Just leave me. Save yourself." Richard stopped cold. He faced her despite the danger. His voice cut sharp, but his eyes burned with fire. "You're my wife," he said, gripping her arms. "I'll never leave you. Not for anything, do you hear me? If it costs me my life, so be it. We survive together." Rain mingled with tears across Helen's face as she nodded, her resolve stiffening against the pain. They continue onward, hobbling with every step. Stopping beneath a gnarled tree, the downpour veiled the world around them. "I think we might have taken a wrong turn," Richard muttered, frustration clenching his jaw. "We're lost," Helen whispered, gripping his arm. Movement cracked through the storm. Heavy footsteps sloshed through the mud. Richard's head snapped toward the noise. The soldiers had drawn too close. He turned to Helen. His jaw locked. "Stay here. I'll lead them away." "What? No!" Helen clung to him, eyes wide. "You can't! I have to!" He cupped her face, fierce and tender. "They'll find us if we both run." "You'll have a chance if I draw them off." He spotted another tree nearby, with roots curled outward, creating a shallow cavity. "Hide there," he said, helping her down under the roots. "Don't come out until it's safe. Promise me, Helen." She nodded, trembling beneath the rain. Her lips moved, but sound refused to rise. Richard rose, one last glance before darting into the storm. "Hey!" he yelled. "Over here!" The soldiers turned. Richard's heart leapt as they pursued him. He didn't look back. Under the roots, Helen pressed her hand to her mouth to quiet her sobs. Pain racked her limbs. Fear gripped her chest. She watched Richard vanish into the trees, shadows of soldiers trailing after him. When their shapes vanished, she exhaled. Her hand groped for a stick. She pulled herself from the roots. Leaning on the stick, Helen limped into the storm. Though pain pulsed through her body, she pushed on. Her legs buckled with every step. The stick barely held her weight. Wet clothes clung to her skin, each drop dragging her down. The rain hammered, trying to stop her. She pushed through. Each breath rasped shallow. Trees stretched forever ahead. Her footing slipped. She fell, sliding down a slick hill. Branches lashed her. Stones slammed into her limbs. She landed in a puddle of mud. She groaned, lying there. Cold water seeped through her. Then she rolled over and pushed herself up, coughing grit and rain from her mouth. Wiping mud from her eyes, she froze. There, through the curtain of rain, a cabin, not grand like Bill's, but small, nestled against towering trees. A garden bordered it, half visible. Warm light flickered from within, sparking hope. Helen crawled forward, mud dragging at her knees and arms. Each inch strained her, but she refused to quit. She reached the steps, slumped forward. Her fist rose and knocked against the wood. "Help!" she rasped. No answer. She knocked again, harder. "Please, someone!" Her head slumped. Rain streaked down her cheeks, mingling with tears. Maybe no one's here. She dropped her head against the doorframe. Then, the door creaked open. Helen blinked, vision blurred. A figure stood in the light, a silhouette with twisting horns, a flower crown nestled between them and pale eyes, wide and bright. Devora. She gasped and knelt. "By the Lord's grace, child! What's happened to you?" Helen's lips quivered. Her strength faded, her head tipped back as darkness swept over her. One word left her mouth. Bill. Chapter 8. Bill sprinted through the forest, each movement fluid and honed. He wove between trees, gliding through the rain-soaked underbrush with the ease of a predator in its element. The storm faded into mist, but the thick forest twisted into a labyrinth of obstacles and shadow. Behind him, the soldier lagged, boots dragging against slick ground. Bill smirked, exhilaration rising in his chest. The plan had begun to unfold. He led the soldier where he wanted. The soldier's shouts thinned as Bill zigzagged deeper. His body stayed in motion, aligned with the forest's rhythm. Every step he took disrupted pursuit. It resembled a game now. As the last of the rain thinned to mist, the woods grew still, air weighted with anticipation. Bill knew the soldier trailed far behind, but he pressed onward, scanning for signs of Richard and Helen. A clearing opened ahead, pale light breaking through the thinning clouds. Bill surged forward, eager to reunite. He leapt through a curtain of brush and slammed into Richard. The two men crashed down. Bill groaned, pain shooting through him as he scrambled upright, rubbing his skull. He looked around. Helen's absence chilled him. "Where is she?" he demanded, eyes sweeping the clearing. Richard shook his head. "I hid her. Told her to stay put before covering her in the roots of a tree. I couldn't risk both of us getting caught." A rustling in the thicket cut off Bill's reply. Footsteps closed in. Bill's hand went to his falx. Richard grabbed a branch and lifted it like a weapon. 3 soldiers stepped from the trees, faces twisted with purpose. They had caught up. 3 against 2. Bill knew a fight would follow. Clouds shifted overhead. Sunlight struck the center of the clearing where Bill and Richard stood. Bill tensed, muscles coiled, ready. The soldiers laughed, weapons raised. As they advanced, a shadow sliced through the woods. A hooded figure appeared. Precise. Controlled. Before the soldiers could react, 2 dropped. Blades or limbs never swung. Just 2 clean, silent collapses. The third spun, panic rising. The last soldier turned, confused and terrified. His eyes scanned wildly before a wooden staff cracked across his face. He crumpled. The figure stepped forward, cloak rippling. Albanor. Bill released a sharp breath, tension easing. A grin tugged at his mouth. "Could have used you a minute ago." Albanor said nothing. His gaze swept the fallen. Richard wiped his brow, still rattled. He looked at Albanor, uncertain but grateful. "Thank you," he said. "We owe you." Albanor's expression softened slightly, but wariness never left his eyes. He nodded, scanning the forest edges again, ready for what else might come. Bill inhaled and steadied himself. Richard's attention snapped back to the real issue. "I need to go back for her," he said, stepping toward the trees. "Helen, I have to—" Albanor's voice broke through. "The woman is safe." Richard halted, eyes narrowing, doubt flickered. "Safe?" he asked. "How can you know that? Albanor's eyes softened, though his tone remained grounded. "She's safe. Bill sent her to a place where protection surrounds her. I will take you to her." Richard's shoulders dipped slightly, tension leaking from his frame. "You're sure?" "I am sure," he said, voice calm. "But we need to keep moving before the danger returns." Richard nodded, working through the moment. "All right, let's go." Albanor turned and stepped forward, guiding the way. Bill followed, thoughts racing. Helen might rest safe, but Albanor's certainty stirred questions. Bill glanced between the trees, instincts on edge. As they passed into the deeper woods, Albanor's presence steadied the air. Still, a quiet gnawed at Bill's mind. Albanor understood more than he revealed. But for now, Bill followed.